I absolutely love free stuff. I'm gonna be honest, it's actually my favorite kind of stuff. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you a bunch of my favorite free design resources. We're talking fonts, typography, illustrations, video, and design tools that you can start using for free right now. Let's get to it. All right, let's dive right in and take a look at some of my favorite free design resources. First, we're going to start out in the category of imagery. And when you think about imagery, you can't think too far without finding Pexels.com. Pexels is Pexels.com, and it's completely free, royalty free, stock. You don't have to give any sort of attribution, and they have all sorts of stuff. You can search inside, you can type laughing, and you're going to get lots of laughing people. You can even sign up, create an account, put things in collections, which is really, really nice. Next up is the one, the only, the famous. That's unsplash.com. Same thing, lots of amazing imagery here, tons of variety, and just kind of a standard in the industry. That's free images over here at Unsplash. The last image selection that I have for you today is stocksnap.io, and this one is going to have a lot of really great landscapes, a lot of great portraiture, and just like a lot of different stuff that you might not find on Pexels or Unsplash. So definitely check out stocksnap.io. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about illustrations, and illustrations are important. They're great for websites and mobile applications and software, but how do you find good illustrations? Well, you might start over at undraw.com, and Undraw, it just has a lot of really, really great stuff. You can also customize and change the color. So if you want to create sets of illustrations that are very customized to your product or your branding, Undraw's pretty good, although it is getting a little bit overplayed, so you might want to try something like OpenPeeps.com, put out by Pablo Stanley. I love these illustrations. They have so much character, and you can download each one of them in PNG or SVG. You can also just use the plugin inside of Figma or Adobe XD, the blush plugin, and grab them right there. But you can get standing people, sitting people, busts of people, and they all just have so much variety and character. They're all black and white. It's just a really cool vibe to use the Open Peeps. And last on the list for illustrations is Storytel, where you're going to get lots of variety of styles actually, and they're all going to be in sets. So I could choose something like grainy or hand-drawn styles, and we'll go back to the outline or the grainy, and you can see this is all happening in one set, and then they're going to introduce an entire another matching set. Sometimes you can get sets up to 20, 30 illustrations, and that's a pretty good deal for free. All right, next up, let's talk about iconography. You need some good icons. You got to go to the Noun Project. It's been around for years. It has an extensive library of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of community-generated iconography. Now, you do have to give attribution, so it says. Keep that in mind, but you have lots of different styles, lots of fun stuff. You've probably used it before, but if you haven't, get over to the Noun Project and check it out. It's really, really good. Next up, we have simple icons. There's like over 2,000 free SVG icons, all for popular brands. So if you're looking, for instance, for the Adobe like suite of icons, or maybe you need like a Nike logo, you can find that over here at simpleicons.com. And lastly, you have Icons 8. It's right there in the URL. It's right there in the name. Tons and tons of icons, new icon styles, all sorts of really unique stuff. They also have lots of other stuff on Icons 8. So it's a great free resource. Check it out. I mean, over 1 million free icons that match each other. That's awesome. Fonts are a must when you are a designer, but where do you find really good free fonts? Well, you got to go to the OG. That's Google Fonts. Google Fonts has all sorts of different font selections, and you can really drill down on these by category and language and the different properties that the fonts would have. I love being able to say, hey, I want at least 12 plus styles, and I'd love maybe a thicker font with a little bit more of a width, and you can just kind of like drill down on these and find exactly what you're looking for. That's Google Fonts. Next up is kind of a unique one. This is velveteen.fr. This is a collective of French designers who create different fonts for you. They're all free. They're all really interesting, and I love this brutalist style of the website. It's just really, really fun. So definitely go check out velveteen.fr. And the last one for our typography for the day is one of my favorites. That's Lost Type. Lost Type has all sorts of amazing fonts, and I always love it when there are designs right here next to it to show you what's possible, what you could do, what's the vibe of the font. And then each one of these really cool, amazing fonts is available for donation. So you could put $0 here if you want, but hey, throw them a couple bones. They do a lot of really good work. Next up, let's talk about stock video. A lot about our our design tools allow you to put video inside, and video is just a fun thing to play with as a creative. Well, you can go check out something like cover.co. Lots of different collections. Like I click on love and relationships here and scroll down, and I love that you can kind of roll over, hover over all of these and get a nice preview of what they might look like. Definitely something to go check out. Another example of this would be Mixkit. Mixkit has a lot of great stock video. You can find like a nature category, kind of scroll through, hover and play, even go full screen to get a great example of what that video might look like. Really, really cool stuff over there at Mixkit, put out by Envato, all free for you. And then lastly, we already talked about this one, but did you know Pexels does video as well? That's right. They do a lot of really good video. And what I love about Pexels is all of it feels really modern, really kind of trendy, and they have a lot of mixture between landscape and portrait video, as you see here. So definitely check out some of these free video resources. Last on the list, we're going to talk about design tools, some of my favorite to use. These are all free, and we gotta just give big props to the brand new Adobe Express. It's only been out for 5 or 6 months at this point. It is the Canva killer. If you are into the Adobe suite but want to make something fast, you can go over to Adobe Express and you can open up the option to make posters or Instagram posts or stories. Just click plus. You get all sorts of templates provided for you, starting resources and assets. You can just grab one like that and you are immediately on your way to creating some really cool designs. Also pretty cool for looking for inspiration. That's Adobe Express. Next up on the list is going to be coolers.co. This is a color palette generator and exploration tool. We can explore trending palettes just by clicking here, but you can also create your own palettes. If I go back and hit start the generator, it's just going to randomly generate an amazing palette for me. I can press spacebar to just keep cycling through palettes until I find one that I absolutely love. You can even lock one color and then keep generating colors or palettes around that locked color. It's a really cool tool. Go and check out Coolers. You're going to love it. For those of you that struggle with pairing fonts or just need a little bit of extra help pairing fonts, you can go to fontjoy.com, where you can generate all sorts of really cool and fun font pairings. You can even kind of drill down a little bit and say we want a little bit more similarity or more high contrast, generate, and you're going to get some really interesting combinations here. Similarly to colors.co, you can actually lock a font that you like and generate around that font until you find a pairing that you really, really love. And speaking of typography, if you really want to nerd out and create a system, a typographic scale, sure, you can use the golden ratio, but who wants to do that? You could just go to something like typescale.com, choose which type of scale you'd like to use. Maybe it's a major third, a major second, maybe a perfect fifth, and then Typescale is just going to generate that scale for you. You can grab all those sizes. You can actually generate CSS code from this as well, and we can see all of it just plugged in beautifully for you. Grab the CSS, open it up on a code pen, have lots of fun. That's Typescale. I hope you enjoyed all those free resources, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you know when more videos like this one come out. Find links to all the free resources that I mentioned today down in the description. And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments. Also, if you have a favorite free resource, leave that down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear about it. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things, making amazing things, and finding great free resources for your next project. See you in the next one.